Really fun fact. I moved my foot in a way that morning where I tore my entire toenail off one of my toes. The entire fucking thing. And I had to get a piece of a bandage to like press everything down to stop all the bleeding. So I was walking in a weird way anyway because of that happening. Ouch, it doesn't.
Is that a really fun fact? That to me is very much the opposite of a fun fact.
Well, I was picking my nose. I'm just gonna be honest, right? I was picking my nose and all the boogers were black. And I was like, I think we need to get some professionals in here. This doesn't seem very good. Besides the dead rat as an alarm clock, you want to hear another rat story? I don't know if you even do. Ooh, I don't know if you even do. Like, ooh. Why do you have multiple rat stories? I grew up really poor. We couldn't afford to fix the siding on our house. Rats grew inside. They crawled inside the house, and they lived in the house for a long time. That's why. Basically, I had a pair of pants. And
There are a lot of poor people out there that don't have rats living in their house.
I was walking down to the store one day, and I realized that the pair of pants, I felt like it was really cold with my legs. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I went into the bathroom of the corner store, and I looked at the back of my pants. And the part where I was sweaty, where like my ass was, and like I assume like a combination of like sweat and like dried cum and everything like that, had been eaten out by a rat. And the entire back of my pants was literally gone. I still wear the pants sometimes, but you have to wear something underneath, like another pair of like sweatpants as well. Like you have to like double up. So
I mean, move on. What needs to happen for you to be like, all right, I think those pants have served their time. Now that he says it, it is crazy to think that a guy who lives like this is the biggest political streamer out there. He blows Hassan out of the water in terms of numbers, I'm pretty sure. The last time I talked about Asmongold, and I think the last couple times, honestly, I talked about him in a fairly positive light. Most recently, talked about when Destiny said Asmongold would continue to defend and support JD Vance, even if Vance dug up his mom's corpse and violated it. And Asmongold took maybe 15 minutes out of one of his streams and just dissected how Destiny and all of his fans, his brainlit fans, are fake morals people. They have all of these prescriptions about how people are supposed to act, what they should and shouldn't do, and then they condone no matter what Destiny does, all right? He's a habitual consent violator, and everybody's still watching him. It's absolutely insane, the complete lack of a fall in viewership that the man has had. But because of that, I've been thinking I really need to talk about Asmongold in a disparaging way to balance that out. All right, too much positive Asmongold coverage on my channel. So I was very happy to see, elated even, when he tweeted out that his filth had nearly caused his demise. He says on Twitter, took the day off to find some dead animal in my attic that smelled bad and ended up falling through the ceiling. Pretty sure I'm living in Sen's Fortress. And from what I've heard, Sen's Fortress is like a Dark Souls level or something like that, where you're balancing on some high up in the air thing, and if you fall, you die. So here you can see the giant hole in his ceiling. And some people thought that this was the dead animal, but I'm pretty sure that's just dirty insulation there. And here's the mess on the floor that it caused. Pretty substantial mess there. And then he also talked about this on his live stream, and his editor clipped it up for the YouTube channel.
I got insanely fucking lucky. I could have hurt myself. I could have broken a bone. I could have died. I'm not doing that again. Yesterday was.
So there you go. Those are his words, not mine, that he nearly died, or that he could have died from his own filth. Asmongold is the one that said it.
It's fucking crazy. Basically, oh god, oh jeez, oh man. We had a pretty big day today, or yesterday, I mean, and yeah. So I had to take the day off. I woke up and I couldn't sleep. Well, it's basically like yesterday was a really good example of how you ever have one of those days where like everything just kind of the dominoes always fall in a way that is not good for you. Well, this was one of my dominoes yesterday. And so I had to deal with that. I thought this board was safe. This piece of wood, it wasn't. It was not. And so anyway, yep, I fell right through my fucking ceiling. Obviously, I was able to catch myself, and you know, I'm fine, right? I mean, aside from like, you know, 4 or 5 other cuts all over me, other than that, I'm fine. But yeah, no, nothing broken. It's only a flesh wound. It's totally fine. I'll heal in a few days, and that'll be it. And so I'm not worried about it. Good one, jackass. Yeah, I know, I know. Well, so here's what happened, right? Is that apparently, so okay, let me go back. All right, where do I want to start with trying to explain what happened with this, right? Did you get your wounds disinfected? I actually took a bath and I washed myself completely because there are so many cuts all over me. Like there's this one, there's that one.
I mean, that's pretty big for him. He had to take his monthly shower early because of this. And, that's good. I'm impressed that he was able to bathe himself after this happening. But why would you not disinfect it just in case? Then you can feel pretty confident in not going into the doctor if you just hit up your wounds with some alcohol. I would feel pretty safe not going to the doctor if I did that. But you're just gonna wash it with soap and water? I don't know about that move.
One. I think there's one over here too. I don't know if you can really see that one very well. Where is it? There's like some like little bit, maybe a tiny little bit there. Not a whole lot. And let's see. I'm trying to think. Is there any other ones? Oh yeah, yeah. My leg is cut up. Let me see. Can I show you? Yep, there it is. Legs cut up as
All that talk about OnlyFans models, and there he is, just showing off his knee and his calf like it's nothing. What a hypocrite.
well. But the fact is, I mean, that's nothing. I mean, really, that's nothing. It's not even a big deal. And so anyway, dude, no, yeah, it's totally fine. Like, I felt like, honestly, so to me, Nan, thank you again for the 10 subs. I appreciate it. And what animal did you find? And did you clean it up? Yeah, I did. Oh, actually, you know what? I can show you a picture. Yeah, I actually
That also, I gotta be honest, I'm impressed that the same day it happened, he found it within himself to clean up the mess that created. Because that's not a tiny one, that's not just a quick sweep and it's done. And I don't think Asmongold has any roommates or family that live with him. So he doesn't even have the pressure of, oh, somebody else has to deal with this if I don't clean it up. He somehow found it within himself to clean up a mess that he made the same day.
did. Please see a doctor. What, for a few cuts? For a few, like, a few little cuts on you? You want me to go see a doctor? Like, what the fuck? No, that's ridiculous. And no, it's tetanus. There's no tetanus. There's no metal there. What are you talking about? And so anyway, yeah,
Yeah, I can get not going to the doctor, but really should disinfect those.
it can get infected. Anything can get infected. I've been cut so many times. It's not a big deal. Asbestos, not the cuts. So I hate to tell you guys this, but I was reading through, a lot of like the comments and everything that people made on this, and geez, I hate, I feel like such a bitch saying this, but I have given up. I have surrendered. We are actually going to get a cleaning team out. We're gonna have somebody come out and
I mean, that is quite the defeat. I think after he got banned for like 2 weeks or whatever it was from Twitch, and he actually cleaned up some of his house, that might have unlocked something in him, something that should always exist in every human. Even if you keep your house fairly clean, stuff builds up. You're like, oh man, I really need to sweep this room. Then you sweep it. It's like, oh wow, just that one little thing actually gives me a little boost. I feel a little bit better living in this cleaner space now. But somehow, people like Asmongold, they either never have that or they lose it. It is crazy to me that you can let it build up and get to a state where you really have zero standards and you just don't clean anything unless it's a matter of, oh, I don't have enough room on my desk with all these sody pops. I gotta clean these up and throw them away. But he found, I think he did find that in himself a little bit at the very least, because he's actually finally going to hire some cleaners. And I really don't understand when you're at the level of wealth that Asmongold is at, or any of these big streamers, why wouldn't you just do that anyway? Just even if you keep your house pretty clean, why not just have some cleaning people come through regularly? He probably makes enough off of this video to pay cleaners for a year to come by every 2 weeks. But it makes sense that this is what caused him to feel that way, because he, once in his life, on a very rare occasion, he's like, okay, this is a big cleaning task. I supposedly just found out that there was something up there that I needed to clean. I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna tackle this today and clean that up. And the universe punishes him with nearly killing him. And that hits him like, okay, you know what? I lose. The filth has defeated me. I surrender to the filth, and I'm gonna hire some cleaners.
Look into whether it's asbestos or not, and we're gonna do the whole thing, right? And so I didn't want to have to do that, right? I thought I could do it myself, to be honest with you guys. I thought I could just do it all by myself. It'd be no big deal. The fact is that yesterday I got so lucky. And like I had people telling me like, oh yeah, this happened to me, you know, and like there's like one post like I woke up in a hospital, like, oh, like I had like bruised ribs, and like so all this happens, and like I was also like holding a stick. Like it's one of those things that like it happened so fast that I don't even know how I reacted to it. But the next thing I knew, I was just holding on to the sides, and after that, like a half second.
Did his life flash before his eyes there? Is that what happened? He doesn't even know that in between. It's just one time I was walking in the attic, and then suddenly I was hanging through a hole in the floor.
Second later, I was back standing up on top of that, right? And so I was just like shocked, right? And I didn't even really. It took me like maybe an hour to come down of the you know, from like that fucking you know, adrenaline high, right? Holding a stick. Yeah, I was trying to move because I thought, did you get the dead animal? Okay, so why was I in my attic? So I woke up and I smelled a dead animal. Now I can smell like 3 things in my life.
Just with what I know about this guy, I find it kind of hard to believe that this is the first time he's noticed this smell. Like, really, Asmongold of all people noticed a funky smell, and that same day decided, oh, I need to address this. We need to resolve this issue. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I would think he's noticed this at least a little bit ago. You know, like at least a week, I would think. And it's just gotten worse and worse, and it finally got to the point where he's like, okay, this is primarily what I'm smelling when I'm walking around the house is dead animal stank. I really find it hard to believe that he had the motivation to address this problem the day he noticed it.
I can smell dead rats. I can smell blood. Yes, I can smell blood. I can tell when there's blood. And I can smell the difference between a Dr. Pepper and a Coca-Cola. And I can even smell the difference between a Coca-Cola and a Pepsi. That's true. That's actually a very good point. Yes, exactly. And that.
So, dead rats, blood, and sody pop. I mean, that's a pretty pathetic list. I gotta be honest. Does he have something wrong with his nose? Or is it just that he's acclimated to so much stench that those are the only things that make a difference? It has to be something like that for it to overpower all of the smells that are already in his house.
That's it. And so anyway, wait, can't you smell soda? Yes, I can smell soda. But that's basically about it. And anyway, so this is kind of like what happened is that I woke up and I was like, oh my God, there's a dead animal in the house again. Fuck. Why is this happening again? So I go into my attic and I can.
Why is it? Because of the way that you live. Because of the state of your house.
Kind of smell it more. I have such a really bad sense of smell in general, though, that it's very hard for me to.
Okay, so he says he does have a bad sense of smell. I think that's compounded by the overwhelming stench of his house. Normally, though.
Track any scent and find it. And so anyway, I was in my attic trying to find this dead animal. I never found it. And that's why, and I think the reason why is that like this morning I woke up, it wasn't as bad. I think what happened is that it was actually a raccoon that died underneath my deck in my backyard, because I walked out into the backyard and like I could very, very strongly smell it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And so, yeah, that's basically what happened, right? Is that like, yeah, it was a dead fucking raccoon in my backyard. I mean, it could have been a cat or a fox, but like, I think it was a raccoon, because that's usually what there is around here, right?
So did he actually find it and remove it? Or did he just decide that, no, it seems like this was outside? Because how would you not be able to tell if it was a cat, a raccoon, or a fox. And if it had decomposed so much that you can't tell the difference, you can't tell which animal it is, that again to me says this has been going on for a long, long time. This is not some new development that he's smelling dead animal, right? I mean, otherwise, how would you not be able to tell what it is?
right? And so you aren't supposed to walk between the beams when you're in the attic. Do you see this right here? This is like, you know, like in Dark Souls where they have like the piece of ground where there's like cracks through it? Yeah. Yeah, bro, that's about what happened. And
I mean, why even address what a worthless, stupid chat. Maybe they're just being sarcastic and it's a joke, but yeah, you think he doesn't know that now? Right, I think most people know that anyway, at least as far as American houses go, because ours are made of paper and dreams. But yeah, obviously, you got to walk on the beams, and then he knows firsthand, better than just about anybody now, the consequences of not doing that. It really, every time Europeans see stuff like this, though, they got to be looking down on us so hard. As I've seen in comment sections on random videos and stuff where people from Germany and stuff like that, they'll say, I didn't understand in TV and movies growing up how people would just punch through the walls. How can you punch through the walls? They're made of brick. Well, maybe in your country, but no. Over here, not so much. Sheet of sheetrock? Oh, that's good enough.
anyway, so it's rock. Yeah, and so that's what I think happened. So the funny thing is that I did all this for nothing. That's what's really funny about it, is that all of this drama, all of this bullshit, I think was all for nothing. And I'm pretty sure that the actual dead animal isn't even in the house. So
Yeah, and I think that is why it really pushed him over the edge. He's like, I gotta hire cleaners. He's like, this is what I get for trying to tackle the problem. I nearly get killed by the universe. All right, I give up. I surrender.
So and that's and but to be fair though, so I walk out into my fucking garage and there's literally a rat sitting there. Like back in the day, they would at least have like the fucking dignity to run away. But he's lived there so long, he didn't even give a fuck about me. He's like, hey.
Yeah, that's kind of gross. At least it's in his garage, not in his house. But the fact that it's so comfortable it doesn't run away, that's pretty concerning. I mean, that's a roommate at this point.
Anyway, so yeah, where the fuck is this food? And like, he didn't even think about it. He didn't even give a fuck, right? Yeah, he owned the place. And so we got to, and so basically this is what happened, right? So I fall through the ceiling. I catch myself. As I said, you know, by the way, also one of the reasons why I was stepping and walking in a weird way, really fun fact, I moved my foot in a way that morning where I tore my entire toenail off one of my toes. The entire fucking thing. And I had to get a piece of a bandage to like press everything down to stop all the bleeding. So I was walking in a weird way anyway because of that happening. Ouch, it doesn't.
Is that a really fun fact? That to me is very much the opposite of a fun fact. That's a nasty, gross fact.
Matter. It's fine. Well, who cares? And so anyway, listen. I have scars.
And did he break his nail off of some pile of garbage on the floor? And I would think, to be fair to him, I would think that's probably a piece of furniture, something fairly sturdy, in order for it to break his toenail off rather than just move. But I don't know. I don't the level of garbage that he has in his house. Maybe it is enough, sturdy enough. It has structural integrity at this point that it could rip his toenail off.
I used to tear the skin off my back just because I like the way it feels.
What?
Happening. Ouch! It doesn't matter. It's fine. Well, who cares? And so anyway, listen. I have scars. I used to tear the skin off my back just because I like the way it feels. Like
What? Why? What? He's like a gold member, just peeling skin off because he likes the sensation. And I would believe that he also collects it like Goldmember did. Oh, that's one for the skin box. Ugh. Like that's like I think it was a 4chan story or something where some YouTuber was reading a 4chan story where this guy had so much dry, dead skin and dandruff that he had a pile of it in his room, just accumulating. So is Asmongold doing that? I would not put that past him, not for a second.
I have scars all over my back from it. If you ever see me outside, if I'm never
Okay, and he was getting scars from this? Is that what he's saying?
anyway because of that happening, ouch, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Well, who cares? And so anyway, listen. I have scars. I used to tear the skin off my back just because I like the way it feels. Like I have scars all over my back from it. If you ever see me outside, if I'm ever not wearing a shirt, you can see it. And yes.
Okay, that's mental illness, man. You're scarring yourself by picking the skin off of your back because it feels good? What is wrong with what happens to a person? How do you end up like that?
And I've scratched my arm. I've stabbed a fork in my arm. This is nothing, okay? It's not a big deal. I've broken my own teeth out. It's not a big deal. Now, I'm not an enjoyer.
I don't know for sure if this is what he's referencing when he says that, but I'm pretty sure I've seen a clip where he talks about how at one point in time his tooth was hurting him or something like that because he doesn't brush his teeth. And he just took a pair of pliers and pulled his tooth out. Maybe he has multiple stories about his teeth like that, but I'm pretty sure I've heard him say something like that.
Of like any of this kind of stuff anymore. But you know, as younger, it was a little bit different. And so anyway, that's what happens. Another Tuesday. Why? Well, it depends. The fork in my arm is because I missed a spell reflective cyclone and burning crusade, which if you played the game, you'd understand. You'd understand because it's just bullshit, right? Just
Would I? I don't think I would.
total bullshit. And so anyway, and that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. And when it rains, it pours. Yes, when it rains, it pours. And so I wake up. I couldn't sleep. I slept for like maybe 3 hours. I wake up. I immediately tear my fucking toenail off. There's blood everywhere. And I actually had to put a bandage on for this one because of how bad it was. And
Did he clean up the blood? I don't know. I don't know.
And so then I wake up and I go to the store. I'm about ready to go stream. And I get into my room like, this smells like fucking dead rats. God damn it. And so I go into my attic. I fall through the
Specifically, dead rats? Is he dealt with so many dead, stinky animals in his house that he can differentiate the animal type?
fucking ceiling in my attic. And then I'm sitting there like this is me. I'm right here and I'm like, son of a fucking bitch. So I get up immediately after this happens. I do the smartest thing possible. I literally just get up and step over the hole and I keep doing it, right? I'm still looking. I don't even give a fuck about falling through. I'm like, okay, I'm like doing this. I'm like, okay, I can move my legs, move my arms. All right, well, nothing's broken. I'm fine. And so let's just keep going. And anyway, I still couldn't fucking find the thing, right? That was it. Is the TV still there? Yeah, this is my ex-girlfriend's TV. She left when she moved out. You know how it is. But anyway.
It's crazy to me that not only did he have a girlfriend at one point in time, but she was actually at his house for some amount of time, so much so that she would have a TV at his place. I mean, I just don't understand how anybody could possibly put up with that. Because you go to people's houses who just have cats, and even if they do a decent job keeping up with the litter box and stuff, you smell it the instant you walk in. It's vile. And you know his house is magnitudes worse than that. How? How does anybody put up with that? And from what I've seen, she's like a normal looking person. It's not some disgusting hag that you're like, oh, okay, you know what? That makes sense. She probably can't do much better than that. She looked fine.
So yes, that's her TV. Is it? Yes, this is Pink. That's Pink Sparkle's television right there. And should have recorded this. If I could have, I would have. Okay, guys. I understand that it was really funny, and I've fallen down my stairs probably 30 times. There was one time I fell down my stairs and I was holding on like my space heater and my drink, and obviously like I threw them both up in the air, and I was just sitting there laughing after I was falling at the bottom of the stairs. I was just laughing. I was like, man, this should have been so funny if somebody could have watched it. But I've never broken a bone. I've never even come close. I've never fractured anything ever. I've like ran into things.
Okay. I mean, that's great, but it's pretty easy when you don't leave the house. to not break bones and stuff. Those are usually outside of the house activities where you're breaking bones.
I've slammed my hand against things. I've had my foot run over by a car. You know, I'm basically going to be fine, right? I mean, unless something crazy happens. So I'm not really that worried about it. But knock on wood. Hey, yeah, knock on wood. Well, actually, a really funny thing about that, about knock on drywall. And so, yeah. This would be good content. Yeah, sure. And so you broke your crusty toenail? Not necessarily, no. It was just I tore part of it off, and there was like a little edge of it that was like, you know, pointy, and I just caught it against something, and it tore the entire fucking thing off, right? That's
He doesn't deny the crustiness of it, though. That doesn't even address that part.
what it was. And is that a support beam? No, that was a support beam. And so anyway,
I mean, now that I say that, the state of his toenail is probably just utterly disgusting. They're probably yellow. Ugh.
yeah, basically I had this happen. And by the way, I already fixed this. And so yesterday, after all this was happening, I'll go ahead and show you right here. My dad always taught me whenever I was a kid, he said that every time that something bad happens to you, turn the situation in a way to make it even better than before it happened. And so I try to use that as much as I can. And so yesterday, I used my vacuum cleaner. I vacuumed up the entire floor. Everything's totally fine. To be fair, I didn't vacuum this. I just fucking shook it out outside. That's why it's kind of dirty. And I did everything. It's already done. Like, it's already done. And this is after, by the way, I had to, and then I had to go to Verizon to help my dad get a new phone, right? And so I'm getting my dad a new phone at the same time. And then also, like, I'm like, okay, well, you want to try an iPad, right? Because I was going to buy him an iPad. And so then I do this, and I actually took a bath yesterday, too, because I was like, well, I was picking
Listen to how he says that. I actually took a bath yesterday.
this, and I actually took a bath yesterday, too, because I was like,
I mean, the way he says it, it really sounds like that is not a regular thing, which I'm pretty sure he's said that before, but you know it's bad when that's just the way you naturally talk about bathing. It's like, oh yeah, no, I actually took a bath the other day. How? How do you get like this?
well, I was picking my nose. I'm just gonna be honest, right? I was picking my nose, and all the boogers were black. And I was like, I think we need to get some professionals in here. This doesn't seem very good. And so I am going to hire some professionals and actually get the house cleaned up. My goal originally, whenever I cleaned my house, this was kind of a while ago, and blood, no, I can tell the difference between blood and dirt. Trust me, it's not blood. And anyway, so that's what's going to happen. I've already begun the process. I have somebody that's working on it for me, like making it happen. It is literally happening as we speak, right?
It is weird to hear somebody talk about this while they're wearing like the classic crappy sweater. This is not the type of clothing I would picture this guy wearing. I mean, that really is quintessential preppy kid sweater there. The only thing that would make it a little bit more is if he had a collar underneath it.
And so that's pretty much it. I'm too underleveled for this dungeon, man. I am, and I thought to myself, how insanely, like, because I can say, oh, I have super fast reflexes, and I was able to stop myself or whatever. Yeah, maybe that's true, but I also really got lucky. I got insanely fucking lucky. I could have hurt myself. I could have broken a bone. I could have died.
Imagine dying at the hands of a dead rat or dead raccoon. That would be so utterly embarrassing. That your house is in such a state of filth that animals are just crawling all up in there and dying, and you attempting to clean that up causes your demise. Uh, Yeah, he really did get lucky this time. I wouldn't be surprised if something like this still ends up killing him.
I'm not doing that again. Like, I'm willing to take risks, right? I'm willing to take risks, but this is a bit much, right? Were you alone? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I live by myself. And so, yeah, that's it. And, so glad you're okay. No big boss. Well, hey, I'm the kind of guy. Okay, listen. Like, I used to always do things that you shouldn't do with my friends whenever we grew up.
Why do people keep saying should have recorded it? Like he was expecting to fall off? If he didn't fall through, that would have been the most boring video ever. Oh, here's me walking through my attic looking for something.
And one time we almost got in trouble with the individuals that get you in trouble, and you get in trouble a lot, right? We almost got caught. And I told myself, and I was like, I was like, okay, guys, that was it. That was the last time I'm ever going to do this again. And so they're like, oh, yeah, right. And like, I actually quit entirely. I quit. They didn't. One of them went to prison. And I never went to jail. I never got arrested. I never even got pulled over. I never got in trouble at all. So I know when to hold them. I know when to fold them. And bro, I fucking folded yesterday. I'm going to be honest. I folded. And so I figure, you know what? That's okay. And I'm going to go and get, like, basically, there's like maybe 5 or 10 different things that are wrong with my.
I mean, he says that like that wouldn't be the obvious conclusion everybody comes to. You know what? I fell through the ceiling of my attic. I think I'm gonna fold my hand. And yeah, wait, no, and wait a minute, because earlier he said after he did that, he pulled himself back up and then kept walking around for a little bit. So you do not get to take credit for folding as if that's some achievement when that's not even what you did right away. That's total nonsense. I want that stricken from the record.
House in like a big way, and somebody was talking about like asbestos and everything. I've got to text my friend because like his grandma lives up the street and like, you know, we grew up together. I've got to ask him, like, do you know, did your grandma ever get the ceiling checked for asbestos? Because like our houses were built at the same time. Yeah, I've got to hit up Zach McElreevy and see, is your tailbone okay? Sure. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm totally fine. Yeah, there's no issue at all. When was your house built? I think 1975, somewhere around there, 1980. So, yeah, we're going to have it checked for asbestos. Yep. We're going to have it checked. Uh-huh. Yep, for sure. And so did that happen today? It's not going to happen today. It'll take a little bit of time, but I've already got everything patched up and everything, and we're okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Give me 1 second. I think I have a little bit of a cough from it. Not really. Because, like, I've been trying to, anytime I've coughed anything up, I look to see if there's any debris in it or anything. But, no, not really. I looked it up also, by the way, and this is what they said about asbestos, is that it's not, well, number one, they said asbestos is not good for you. Do not put it on pizza. Don't use it as a mixer for alcohol. And also do not inject it either. Yeah, they said this is not good for you at all. And so anyway, you know, but they said that if you have brief exposure to it whenever you're doing home renovations, that it's almost completely non-problematic, right? And that's what they said. The issue really is that when you're in it and you're dealing with it for like a long period of time, right? Because like basically they were explaining that my uncle died of asbestos. Yes, exactly, right? Why not? Well, wrong. Yeah, it's long-term exposure. And it's like, so you live in a house with asbestos, and basically what asbestos is that it's like it's like some sort of thing. And if you have
Oh, okay. Basically, what asbestos is, it's this thing. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna go more into it, but why? Yeah, why would you ever start off your explanation of what a thing is like that?
is that it's like so you live in a house with asbestos, and basically what asbestos is that it's like it's like some sort of thing. And if you have what do you call it, if you have too much of it in a certain area, or sorry, if it gets disturbed, it can be damaging, right? And so that's just a thing. Yeah, it's a fiber, I guess, right? And so
Fiber. I I thought for a second that is he actually not going to describe what it is at all, other than saying it's like a thing?
basically for me, I you know, I've never had any of that happen. And also, like, by the way, I've lived in this house for 30 years already. So like, I mean, you know, if like I'm already cooked, right? Like, I mean, if this was asbestos and I was getting asbestos poisoning, I was already fucked, right? It fucks up your lungs. Yeah, exactly. And so that's really what it is. It's flame retardant. Yes, exactly. And so yeah, I've already been in the house forever, so I'm already fucked if it is and it was exposed. But basically, if you don't like fuck with it, nothing bad will really happen. But the problem is that when you do fuck with it, that's whenever it is a problem. And so yeah, and asbestos there is undisturbed, is no problem. Yes, exactly. And so basically what we're going to do is we are going to have the ceiling checked for asbestos, and I want to make sure it doesn't happen. And yeah, that's what it was. Maybe insulators that got ill. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, let's see here. Nothing wrong with a little bit of attic cough. Yeah, a little bit, right? And I also haven't talked a whole lot. Like yesterday, I talked to my dad a little bit. This is the first time I've really been talking to anybody in like over a day. And like now I'm talking nonstop. So I don't find this to be alarming at all. It's okay. I'm not stressed out. And I'm the kind of guy that's a bit of a hypochondriac. So I'm not worried about it too much at all.
What? How can you not brush your teeth to the point where they're falling out, but be a hypochondriac at the same time? I'm not saying that's impossible that he's lying about it, but it's very strange to me that you would live in such filth, not brush your teeth, not bathe regularly, and then also claim to be a hypochondriac. Like, what? I don't know how you can reconcile those two things unless you're just really dumb or something. I don't know how you can do both of those.
And so, yeah, check the walls on the house as well. I will. I'm gonna get the whole thing checked out and done. Now, there were a lot of people that were asking me, like, basically, like, why do you live like this, etc. This is a house, like, this is my home. I grew up here. I lived here my whole life, and like, this is, you know, I don't want to get rid of the house. Like, I could very easily go buy a mansion and go live somewhere else, but this is my home, and I love living here, and it makes me happy. The only reason why I would ever move away is if I was gonna move in with like a girl and like maybe start like a family or something. Then I would move away just so I'd have more space, and like, you know, I wouldn't want my kids to grow up in the same house that I did, right? I think that would be selfish. But like otherwise, you know, like I have no real reason to move away or do anything like that.
Is he sa- is he saying that it's too small or just that it's too disgusting? He wouldn't want to raise his children in squalor.
And so anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. And so like basically,
Because obviously he said he was raised in this house, so children can be raised there. I mean, maybe he plans to have more than one child and there's only enough room for one child there.
my mom was like really into, like, I wouldn't really say she was a hoarder, but she was just really extremely messy, and she would just never allow me to throw anything away or get rid of anything. And so like but my house, like, this, it might sound like weird for me to say this, but like I actually like it when I have nothing in my house, basically, or in my immediate area.
It's very weird to me, the people who, like, I understand it, but the people who grow up with hoarder adjacent parents and you aren't radicalized into wanting to have the opposite of that. There's episodes of the Hoarders show where the entire house is absolutely disgusting, but then you see the kid's room and it's nice and clean. It's just, I mean, that's awful to see. That's heartbreaking. It's like, so obviously the kid absolutely hates living like that, and they make an effort to keep their own space clean like that. But how does that not radicalize you? Oh, okay, I'm never living like that. That's terrible and disgusting. You know, go over to friends' houses and be like, wow, this is way better. This is how I would prefer to live.
Like, I like having nothing around because every single thing is like a problem to me, right? But what's happened is that, you know, like all of these things, like my mom has just had so many things and so much stuff that it was hard to get rid of all of it. And any efforts that I would take or try to push towards like getting it clean or improving things at all, like for a long time, I was afraid to do it because of COVID at the time, because she refused to get the vaccine. So I couldn't have anybody come into the house and do anything because, like, well, I mean, they can't, like, I'd be putting her at risk. And then before that, we didn't have the money for it. And so there was never really an opportunity that I really had to be able to do this because, like, I told her, I was like, you know, I'll do anything you want, right? You want me to do like a fucking, like a walk-in a bathtub, like I'll do anything. But she just didn't really want to deal with it. And she also never wanted people to come in the house. It was a pretty big issue, right? And like, it's hard to know like what the
Yeah, and that's another thing. How does that not motivate you to change? You're embarrassed at the idea of having people in your house. You're ashamed to let anybody see how you live. But you just keep doing it.
right decision is or what not to do or whatever. But yeah, it sucks, right? It does. It sucks. But that's pretty much the reason why it was like that or whatever. I don't think you're a hoarder. You're just lazy. Yeah, definitely. You're here for your change because you went bald early. Now you're trying to hold on to everything. You're scared to lose stuff. Yeah, bro. Like, don't cut your hair. It'll never come back. No, I mean, obviously, like, I don't really like change. I like things the way they are for sure. But at the same time, I think that there's a point where it's unreasonable, and I think that we've gotten to that point pretty easily. And so I'm hoping that after, you know, all this is over.
Now that he said that there, that he does not like change. I mean, there's probably a reference that pretty much nobody will understand, but he reminds me of Fez Whatley of Ron and Fez. Fez Whatley would collect his toenails in a jar and do that sort of stuff, and he was a very anxious person who absolutely hated change. And Asmongold is also a very anxious person. I'm pretty sure he's still afraid to stream on his main channel. Is something in his head makes that better to stream on his second channel. Yeah, he reminds me quite a bit of Fez Watley now that I think about it.
I'll be able to get things cleaned up and fixed it, right?
Oh, and Fez Watley had a horrible diet, ate like crap.
Hmm. Did you find a dead animal? No. It was built during 1980s. Very disruptive.
Oh, so there he says he didn't find the dead animal. So he did not clean up anything out of his backyard even.
Process to remove it professionally. It's also monitored by the government during the process. It needs to be removed by vetted workers individually. Also, note asbestos can linger in the air for 10 years. I mean, I don't know really what to say at that point, right? If asbestos is like in the air for 10 years, what do they have to like burn down the house? Like I have no idea. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen or whatever. You can still live in the same house, just a more modern version with the original charm. It's more safer and convenient. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. And like for example, like my sink doesn't work. There's one of the bathtubs and bathrooms doesn't work. There's like all kinds of things that are wrong with the house. Like I just I grew up at this house.
Very convenient how the things that you would use to wash yourself and wash your hands, those don't work, and he's able to just keep existing like that. For most people, that would be a problem. Oh, the sink doesn't work. Oh, the shower bathtub doesn't work. This needs to be addressed.
House, and like my mom never had any money growing up to like really fix a lot of this stuff or any inclination to either, and so it just kind of got worse over the years, and that's pretty much what it was. So yeah, I don't know really what I'm going to do, but like I do think that like this happening, like originally I was just like I blew it off. I was like, okay, well, like you win some, you lose some. But like after people were telling me like what happened to them in like these situations, I decided I was like this is too much, right? Like I just I put myself at too much of a risk, and I'm not going to do that. And so that was about it. Property's big enough. You can buy a tiny house to live in. No, I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. I'm gonna like. There's going to be steps that I'm going to take. I'm going to talk to a professional, and I'm going to have.
I don't think somebody like this can live in a tiny house. The filth and junk would accumulate way too quickly and be taking over the entire house. In a couple months probably. I don't think someone like this can live in a tiny home.
Have them inform me on like the best steps forward, right? Like I have a number of people I can trust, etc., to do that, and I'm just simply going to approach it from that way. Is this happened yesterday? Yes, it did. It happened yesterday, and so that's it. A little peace of mind. You can get a couple of air purifiers until they're done. Yeah, it's actually a really good idea. I could maybe do that. And you're gonna renovate your house whenever it's cleaned up. I mean, not entirely, but I'll renovate the places, the parts that are unclean or problematic. Yeah, I will. Absolutely. So if you're considering getting a new house, well, I covered that a minute ago. Like I would only do it if I was moving in with somebody. But like other than that, like getting married, like other than that, I like living here. It's totally fine. It's not a big deal. And so yeah, that's at least the.
He says that. Does he see himself getting married even though he lives like this? I know I said he dated a fairly normal person before, at least outward appearance of normal. I just, it's it seems like if that's something that you want at all, you would realize this is something you have to work on. Because even though he is super rich, he's severely limiting his options by living the way he does. There is a very small percentage of the population that would be willing to put up with that, even if there is a lot of money that comes along. I mean, in that case, I would actually be worried that this person, even more than rich people already are, worried that this person is just with me for my money, and then they're gonna kill me, inject me with some weird disease, and everybody will just assume, oh, that's probably because of the way his house is.
The way that I feel about it. You see a new GTA trailer? Yeah, I did. Did you see a thing Hassan said about Tectone? Yeah, I did. We'll get through all that. But like, I wanted to kind of talk about like where I was yesterday, what was going on, etc. Have you noticed termites? No, I haven't. I didn't notice a single termite. To be honest with you, I was kind of surprised by that. Are you good for now? Yeah, for now. And hopefully it stays the same. But
There are fire ants down here in Florida, and I was not aware of that when I I first moved down here, and I was mowing the lawn, and I mowed over a fire ant nest, and all of a sudden, all the way up my legs, they start biting. I've heard that they will coordinate and they'll wait till they start crawling over you a little bit before they actually start biting, so that you don't get them off right away. I don't know if that's true. Maybe that's just some ant-related conspiracy theory, but it was awful. They really hurt quite a bit. And so I had to run inside of my house and take off my clothes and then throw them out into the front yard because I didn't want any of the fire ants in my house. That was terrible. It's not termites, but close enough.
But yeah. What about the pipes? Oh, they're fucked too. And it'll probably cost me, I'm just gonna say it, it'll probably cost me over $100,000 to get everything done. Like, I would not be surprised if it costed that much. It was gonna be an insane amount of money. Just because of how many things are wrong. Like, I probably have to rebuild that more. You could be right. I mean, I have some things done, like the siding on the house is done all the way. But yeah, if it takes more, then it takes more, right? That's it. I mean, it's my home, and so I'm gonna have to do it, right? But I'm not gonna clean up everything. I'm just gonna clean up the stuff that's like actively dangerous, right? And things that are like very inconvenient. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened, and that's why I wasn't on yesterday. And man, what a fucking day. What a fucking day. Yeah, Mudahar responded, and yeah, looks like we're probably gonna be cleaning shit up, man. And I'm a little bit surprised. I'm actually quite surprised. But you dropped your gay card? No, I didn't. Wait, what? Oh, no, guys, come on. And stream it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I got him. And I am gonna get that done. It's in the process of being done now. It's not gonna happen immediately, but it'll take a little bit of time, and then we'll get in.
I mean, how do you live in such a way where I don't know if this is, yeah, this is his subreddit. The fact that he's hiring a cleaning crew, that's worth a post on his subreddit. And it has 94 comments already.
Into it. Cleaning the whole house or just the new mess? I am going to, I can just make like a little short list, okay? House problems. Sink doesn't work. Hole in the door that rats get in from. Hole in the pantry that rats get in from. Hole in the ceiling because the light fixture fell down.
Wait, he has another hole in his ceiling? It's got multiple rat holes and multiple ceiling holes.
Let's see. Bathroom broken. Let's see. Besides that, okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, garage door destroyed. Garage door broken. Wasps get in. I think those are like kind of some of the big ones, right? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really problematic as well. Oh yeah, mold in the bathroom. Okay.
Okay, yeah, and that to me says, okay, there's no way this guy is a hypochondriac. You have mold in your bathroom and you're not worried about getting sick from that?
Let's see. Besides that, that's not really big. Oh yeah, the roof. Wall. Oh yeah. Hole in my mom's room with water damage. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That was another one. And
Yeah, and he was saying earlier, he doesn't want to leave this place because it's where he grew up and stuff. You'd think that would mean you keep it fairly nice, right? Like, I know everybody has stuff around the house that they should or would like to fix and make it a little bit nicer, but these are very substantial things. And you would think if you really did care about the house the way it seems like he was saying he did, you wouldn't let it get this bad. 'Cause this isn't even just garbage and dirt accumulating. These are broken things.
yeah, the new hole from yesterday.
Okay, I was gonna say, is this other hole that he talked about, is this the hole that he just made? But no, okay, there are two.
Okay, obviously. Kitchen cabinet. Oh yeah, kitchen cabinets are rotten, decayed. Okay, let's see. House problems. Okay, that's another one.
No explanation for that. You just have rotten, decayed cabinets. That's not worth an explanation.
Okay. Besides that, I'm just trying to think. Carpet. Oh yeah, carpet. Carpet is rotten and waterlogged. Okay, yeah, there's
It's waterlogged? So, like when he steps on it, it makes noises. To me, that's what waterlogged means. It's not just damp, but water splashes up when you step through the carpet. I, I truly, I do not understand how you live like this.
It's definitely that. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, all walls are yellow from smoke. Okay. Let's see.
I mean, so is he gonna replace every wall in his house, or maybe just paint it? I guess.
I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much, those are the main ones, right? New paint job? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there any new issues? That's pretty much a good start, right? Is the foundation good? Yeah, foundation's fine. It's not an issue. And outside the house is pretty much all cleaned up. It's fine. I had to get all that done for his inspector came out. There's like a whole situation a while ago. And let's see.
So was he the sort of hoarder that has such a crazy yard where the neighbors are calling and reporting? That's what it sounds like. Some government official had to come out and order him to clean up his yard because it was violating the city ordinances or something like that.
New pipes. Oh yeah, well, I think that like there's something. This is probably a good start. Oh yeah, hole in the wall from when Zach tried to do a front flip onto the bed and kicked the hole in the wall. There's definitely that, but we just put a blanket over that, so that's not really a big issue. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, a little bit. If you
It has a blanket over it, so it's not a big issue.
a few of these things, right? These would be the ones that I would start with. Okay, just move, bro. The oven works. Yeah, the oven does work. You're on speaker. What, did I forget something?
Huh?
Well, you're on speaker. What, did I forget something?
Yeah, you remember when I punched a hole in the wall when you were a little?
That's right. Yep. Give me a second.
Is that his dad?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, got it.
Put the door back on your bathroom, on your bedroom. I mean, the front bedroom.
No, I have that. That's good. The door's fine.
Is it hung?
Yeah.
In your room, in that front room?
Yeah. No, I did that. I was like 15, 16.
Oh, okay. Well.
His dad's like, wait, you addressed the problem and fixed it? Are you sure about that, son? You actually fixed the problem?
There's the fact that your bathroom and your mom's bathroom are shitholes.
I have that.
And they need to be redone.
Yeah.
Well, that's not only the mold, but the
Well, that's his guess.
You didn't get a new toilet. You know, you need a new toilet. That thing's a shithole.
Well, that's what they all are. But yeah,
I know that's why they need to be replaced.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, that's the thing to add. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Did you want me to call Matt about it?
No. I got Let me
Do you want me to call back when I got more? I think that's what he said.
call you after I go live, and I've got an update for you on it. But because I did it this morning.
Oh, okay. Because let me check on these guys first where they do the work.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, thanks, and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But I'm sure to think of something else.
Right.
I'm sure he'll think of something else. He's getting roasted by his dad.
That'll do for now.
Okay. All right. Yo. Bye.
Yo, bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah. So there were a couple of things I did forget
No, I love you. Whoa.
about, but for the most part, that was about it. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. And hopefully, we'll get a lot of this done. You should spend a little money. I'm going to. I'm gonna do it. It's not gonna be a big deal. It's not gonna be a problem.
Well, I mean, it looks. I would believe that that's at least $100,000 for that. So this, you might have seen this. What kind of views does this have? Oh, this only has like 250,000. But this guy, Aamon Animations, Aamon, I'll link it in the description. But he has a very fitting animation that he made for this topic.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch and also what my plans are going forward. I think this has been something that's a long time coming. I think that I've been slowly devolving into the most psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter. But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do. And so you can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that, I want you to hold me accountable. Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to ignore it.
I think this is from when he got banned and he made the apology on his YouTube channel, but accurate fingernails.
Mouth is pretty dry. Anyway, I'm just going to focus on myself for a while, try to improve my own life. You guys deserve a much better version of me than what you've been getting, and I hope that I can live up to that in the future.
There's just no attempt to even actually get him to land in the garbage. Looks like you can kind of maybe see the back scars there. Kind of looks like maybe he was just trying to make him look nasty and diseased, but maybe Aamon knew about the back skin picking habits that he had.
Man, it's been a crazy 2 weeks, I'll tell you that. Trump is, he's coming out with some plans. This is the time where you can say elections have consequences. We are in for 4 years of some of the best content that I think we've seen in a long time. So, like, they're doing this thing with, like, these deportations where...
I mean, he's really done his homework. Yeah. Accurate rats. Apparently, I think Asmongold listed like 3 or 4 rat holes that he has in his house.
They bring in like celebrities to deport people, and it made me wonder, what is the probability that Tom Homan would let me go with him dressed up as Ash Ketchum with watching them do deportations? Yeah, exactly. That'd be really good content. It would be. Your statement about not voting to disadvantage yourself is really blowing up on X with strong support. Well, of course it is. Of course, it's just a logical perspective to have. Now, there's a bunch of emotionally unstable retards on the internet that like to distort reality. But no, of course, I'm not going to vote for somebody who's going to say that someone else is going to have a privilege that I can't have. Why the fuck would I ever do that? That's the most retarded thing you can imagine. So, no, of course, that's, like, I mean, why don't I just vote to have somebody shoot me? Holocaust was a lie? I am, guys, I'm not one of these Holocaust deniers. I think the Holocaust probably happened. I think probably 99% certainty it happened.
The Nazis burned books on gender sciences.
They did do that. It's a bit of a miss. Like, my understanding is that they burned them not because it was gender stuff, but because it was written in Jewish and not German. Look at this. People wonder, are tax dollars used to promote wokeness in video games? Answer is yes. USAID paid Politico millions of dollars a year to write pieces like this one, which promotes diversity and describes Gamergate as disinformation and harassment.
This is very quality animation. I have no idea what goes into animating something like this, but this seems like there's a lot of effort into this.
Harassment campaign. So this is the thing, guys.
It's very effective. It's disgusting. It's making my skin crawl a little bit.
I want these people to suffer because that's what they did to me. Get rid of them. Make an example of them. Say, listen, this is what happens. Gamers rise up. What goes around? Yep, what goes around comes around. And we're coming. Mute the stream for about a minute if you don't want to hear something really bad. So I walked down to the store the other day, and I could tell that the back of my pants, my dick and balls, was getting a little bit too cold. Now that doesn't happen a lot. And I look and I realize part of the back of my sweatpants had been eaten away because we had had a rat infestation in our house. And one of the rats had gotten trapped in my room, and it had eaten, I guess, sweat and dried cum off of the back of my sweatpants, and the entire back of it was gone.
I mean, how gross are you living? Where you're like, oh, well, I mean, I'm just sweating and coming into my pants so often that there's enough for a rat to get a meal out of that.
Incel attitude? Well, I guess I'm an incel. And I think everybody else should be too. And if there's enough of us, we can change the rules. And I think that's what we should do. Do I want my tax money going towards litigating people that like lollies? No. I think that if you're in this country and you commit any crime that's worse than jaywalking and you're not a citizen, I want you deported. Yep. Get the fuck out. People used to bring their family.
I mean, I know it's a very easy opinion, but you don't want anything done about people watching lolly. You don't think that's concerning when people are into that?
Families to watch lynchings. People are more than willing to do something that's horrible if they think that they're doing it for the right reason.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so that clip where he's talking about the rats eating a hole in
Okay,
his
like, listen.
pants, he talks about that here in this video.
I am not a role model. I am the last thing that you should have from a role model. Here, besides the dead rat as an alarm clock, you want to hear another rat story? I don't know if you even do. Ooh, I don't know if you even do. Like, that's a, ooh. Why do you have multiple rat stories? I grew up really poor. We couldn't afford to fix the siding on our house. Rats grew inside. They crawled inside the house, and they lived in the house for a long time. That's why. Basically, I had a pair of pants. And
There are a lot of poor people out there that don't have rats living in their house.
I was walking down to the store one day, and I realized that the pair of pants, I felt like it was really cold with my legs. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I went into the bathroom of the corner store, and I looked at the back of my pants. And the part where I was sweaty, where like my ass was, and like I assume like a combination of like sweat and like dried cum and everything like that, had been eaten out by a rat. And the entire back of my pants was literally gone. I still wear the pants sometimes, but you have to wear something underneath, like another pair of like sweatpants as well. Like you have to like double up. So
I mean, move on. What needs to happen for you to be like, all right, I think those pants have served their time. Gonna throw them away.
it kind of sucks because it was one of my favorite pairs of pants. And like, yeah, that's it. So yeah, I'm not a role model. I'm not a role model. I would not look at me as like, oh wow, look at Asmon. Look what Asmon taught me. Look what Asmon did. Like another one, little quick one. One time I broke my teeth. I broke a tooth, and it was stabbing my tongue whenever I was eating a pizza at what was it? At Sam's Club with my mom. And I came home and I had to raid lead Heroic Lich King. And I had to make calls regularly for shadow traps and shit. And I couldn't do that because the piece of my tooth was stabbing my tongue. So I called the raid for a 5-minute break. I went downstairs. I took pliers. I broke part of my tooth out with the pliers. I went back upstairs and we killed the boss. I'm not a role model. I am a fiend and a degenerate. That's it. Please do not look at the opinions that I have as being relevant because they are my opinions.
Yeah, now that he says it, it is crazy to think that a guy who lives like this is the biggest political streamer out there. He blows Hassan out of the water in terms of numbers, I'm pretty sure. This is your guy. This is who you're gonna go to for politics. How?
Look inside yourself and ask yourself is what
I mean, unironically, he can't even run his own house.
I'm saying true or not. And if it is, then go with it. If it's not, then don't. That's my best advice. Yeah, we've chosen Asmon. We chose you. Yeah, look, all I'm saying is, did you give it to your tooth fairy? No, because it was only part of it, right? And that's it. And so yeah, please, guys. I try to say this regularly, but I do really mean it. It's not a it's not like a joke, right? I'm a degenerate and a fiend, and there is a reason why no mere mortal can live with Asmongold. I am a genuine degenerate, and
No mere mortal can live with you. What was all that talk about marriage then? You think you changed your mind on that? Oh, maybe somebody could put up with it. How long ago was this? This was 3 years ago. I don't know how long ago the relationship was. Oh, maybe in the time between, he dated that Pink Sparkles lady or whatever her name was, and now he thinks, oh, maybe there's a chance I get married. Well, or maybe he plans to marry somebody that's not a mere mortal. I don't know. Regardless, and on that note, this is just an utterly disgusting person, truly vile the way that they live, and somehow biggest political streamer out there. This is who people go to. You know what? This guy, he's got the right ideas on how things should be run. I want to listen to him. I saw a clip recently where a cop was driving around, some body cam footage that got uploaded for whatever reason, and the cop was listening to Asmongold in their cruiser. I mean, we are in a dark place, very dark place right now.